bone to pick with Rahm Emanuel, and so he refused to. I'm not surprised. In fact, Donald Trump brags about using litigation to intimidate people. He's trying to silence me. He's afraid of what I will share, and that's why you see these actions from Donald Trump. And to get the president to fulfill the campaign promise that he made to Flint, but there are very distinct ways that we're different. One, I want to see this nation united as opposed to divided. I don't want to see a race war as Donald Trump does. I'd like to see things happen for the communities of Chicago and Flint, as we talked about on the campaign, to see the rebuilding of Puerto Rico. I actually like to see the inner city youth get the educational tools that they need and the funding that they need. And I'd like to see Americans continue to have health care as opposed to watching him dismantle it. And so in those ways, we are distinctly different.
You said earlier today in an interview that you met with Special Counsel Mueller. Did you actually?
He, instead of doing the work to advance the American agenda on policy and helping people have a robust life, he's actually taken more time out, in fact, sending 9, 10 tweets, I don't know the count, to attack, insult, and to silence me. It makes me very, very concerned, and I think all Americans should be concerned that the United States president would behave this way and would be so consumed with someone that he cannot continue to fulfill the duties of this office. He is unfit, he is mentally impaired, and he is doing damage to the republic.
Can you tell us anything that you were asked about? Any
I'm
subjects
unfortunately
you were asked about?
not going to be able to comment about that investigation. Thank you for asking that. I actually made that distinction because I was parsing. It was a day or so after I had been locked in the Situation Room. I had been threatened by General Kelly, who said that he was going to he didn't want damage to my reputation. He threatened that things could get ugly for me. And so I was actually parsing, and I was being very careful because I had just come out of that situation, and I was very afraid of what these people would do. And so I was trying not to poke the bear because I didn't want to know what it meant for things to get ugly for me or to see what the damage to my reputation would be. And so I was just being very, very careful how I answered that question. Try to implement those decisions. By that afternoon, he would give us no warning and reverse. But I certainly have tons and tons of emails submitting candidates and resumes for their consideration, and it just didn't seem to be good enough for this White House. I have been gone for 7 months, and so if it were true that I was blocking, people from getting in the White House, why hasn't there been an increased diversity since I've left? Since people saying I was the hold-up, it's because they have no commitment. No true commitment to seeing diversity in this White House. There's no excuse that there's not another African-American assistant to the president. No excuse whatsoever. Funding. I work with noble African-American law enforcement. I made engagement. At every single opportunity, he insults African-Americans. He insults the intelligence of African-Americans. After LeBron James, who's from my home state of Ohio, in fact, his school is just 45 minutes from where I grew up. After he worked to try to bring educational opportunities for his community, Donald Trump didn't cheer those efforts. In fact, he tore them down. He wants to divide this nation. He wants to pit his base against successful African American, particularly men you see him attacking, athletes, females like Maxine Waters, where he encourages people to attack her over and over again. He uses his rallies to really encourage people to bring down African Americans.
Did you tell them you have any recordings that you've
I'm
offered to give them?
unfortunately not going to be able to comment on that investigation.